I will go ahead and turn it over to our 2017 Chairman, Will Varn.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Forestry Association's 2017 Annual Business Section. For those that have never met me, my name is Will Varn. I have the distinct honor and privilege to be the 2017 Chairman of the Association. Forestry's been a way of life in my family for over 100 years in Georgia, and 91 of them in the same location in Hoboken, Georgia. And speaking from other members of the association, good stewardship of the land and our business is very important to us, and I'm proud to be a member of an association that supports those goals. The mission and the vision of the Georgia Forestry Association are well aligned to protect our forest assets in Georgia, connect you to the meaningful resources, empower you for the future. The success and the mission and vision of this association depends on the collective engagement of the forest community throughout the year. And the first part of that is having you folks come to the convention, and we really appreciate that. It means a lot to us. Before we get started, I'd like to have a Pledge of Allegiance, please, if you'd stand. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Andres is going to introduce a special guest who's going to help us with the invocation today.
Thank you, Will. I'd like to invite former Senator Seth Harp to the stage. I was going to give the invocation today, but after talking with Seth, we decided that he had a special message to share with everyone from a friend of all of us. Thank you.
First of all, thank you all for what you do, and it's great, very great. But Linda and I yesterday on our way over here stopped by Perry and visited with a dear friend of forestry, former State Senator Ross Tollison. And he personally said, Seth, please remember me to the forestry community. And if you recall, he did so very much for the forestry community. He was chairman of the Natural Resources Committee in the Senate. And I had the honor and pleasure of sharing a suite of rooms with him there in the Senate, and probably the best aide in the Senate, Ms. Vicki Gibbs. But again, Ross asked me to do that and say thank you all for, if you could visit him. He's in Perry, and his health, his physical health is good, but his mental health is going down. Do you want me to say the grace? Yes. Okay. Bow your heads, please. We'll say the invocation. Heavenly Father, bless this group today and this meeting as we come together as stewards of your land, as stewards of your forest. Help each and every one of us remember and uplift one another, for together we manage what you have given us. May we each and every one do our very level best, such that we take steps that will protect our families and protect our forest, because that is our livelihood. In your special Son's name, I pray. In Jesus' name, amen. Thank you, Andre.
Thank you. I'm gonna make a quick break here in our agenda real quick, if I can, Mr. Chairman. Is that okay? This is off the script, but I wanted to make sure that that you had the opportunity to know who's behind the scenes, not only for this weekend, but every day on your behalf. And so I wanted to introduce our staff. So if our staff would please kind of come up here across the front, I'll embarrass all of you as best I can. But they need to get back to the stuff that makes this conference work. So I'll start with Michelle. Michelle, as I mentioned, is our office manager, and she is actually the person who makes everything tick in the office. And so Michelle has been with us several years now, and we are so thankful for everything that she does for us. Tom Byers, one of our new hires over the past 6-7 months, and he's our Government Affairs Director. A lot of you have already seen him if you went to Forestry Day at the Capitol. But Tom is one of these guys that you can give him anything, and he turns it around in no time. I think this could be a week or 2 weeks, and within 2 days, it's back on my desk. And so I have a hard time keeping up with Tom, which is a good thing. So thanks, Tom. Mary Lou, of course, a lot of you know her as your only Yankee friend. So that's right. But Mary Lou's also one of the cornerstones of GFA in terms of the office. She knows how a lot of things work, and she's that friendly New Jersey accent on the phone that you get when you have to pay your dues. Long Island, sorry. So, yeah. So when you sorry, to me it's all kind of way up there, way far north, but some distant planet somewhere. But thank you, Mary Lou, for everything you do. Jake, as some of you have already seen, is our intern for this year, going into Warnell next year, and doing great work with us for us in economics and policy work. Caroline Langdell, our communications intern for this summer, also doing fantastic work for us as an association. Ember Bishop Bentley joined us back in February and is helping us manage the foundation. Ember spent 7 years with Governor and Mrs. Deal, and so she's incredibly well connected in this state and has brought a tremendous amount of value to our organization. And then Megan Frame, our most recent hire a few weeks ago, or actually a couple months ago now, that joined us from the Georgia Department of Agriculture. So if you would, please give everyone here a round of applause. I get everybody? Yeah, all right. All right, thanks so much. All right, with that, we'll cut back to the agenda and we'll let our team go back to doing what they need to do to make sure we have a successful conference. Mr. Chairman.
Everybody has an agenda in front of them, as you can see up here. I just need a motion to approve the agenda. All right, all in favor? Opposed? All right. Antitrust, I believe.
That'll be me. All right. All right, we did this once already today for some of you, but we'll go through it again. Some critical importance so we all comply with antitrust laws. In particular, this includes the prohibition of discussions around fixing and regulation of prices, discussing trading areas, limiting or restricting the quantity of products to be produced, or discriminating against or excluding competitors. If at any time the discussion goes in this direction, one of us or all of us need to stand up and cease discussion, bring it to our attention, and we'll change directions and make note of that in our minutes. Thank you.
I believe they passed out the minutes from 2015?
2015 and 16.
2015 and 2016. I need a motion to approve those minutes. Second. Any additions or corrections? If not, I'd like a vote. All in favor? Opposed? Okay. Perfect. Tom, I think you're out there somewhere with the financial report.
Where is it? It's on the screen.
Good afternoon. I'm pleased to report once again that your association continues to operate on a healthy financial footing with a stable membership base. The association's operating funds as of June 30, 2017 were $349,467, and our reserve funds as of June 30, 2017 were $397,861. The 2017 June year-to-date fiscal status, as of June 30, 2017, total income and expenses are aligned to budget. With respect to year-to-date income, thank you all for your dues and sponsorship. With respect to year-to-date expenses, there are no categories of concern, and the association continues to adequately balance its expenditures with its revenues while being committed to the organization's mission. If you have any questions or comments, please find me and I'll be happy to take care of it. Thanks.
Tom.
Thank you, Tom. I need a motion to approve that financial report from Tom. All right, all in favor? Motion passes. At this point, Dale Green's going to come up and give us a report on the University of Georgia Warnell School of Forestry.
Good afternoon. Just want to quickly give you a report on the school. In a nutshell, we had a very good year, and just about every measure that we track is doing well. So happy to report that. We have 2 faculty searches we've just launched. Bob Teskey is retiring at the end of 17. He's a distinguished research professor of forest ecophysiology, and we're going to fill that position in kind. And also Dr. Delia Boss left us after spring semester, and so we're searching to replace her position, which is joint with the Savannah River Ecology Lab in natural resource sustainability and certification. Both of those should have interviews going on in fall semester with the replacements arriving in time for next fall. Our undergraduate enrollment dipped a little bit last fall, but we have one of the largest entering classes this fall that we've had in a number of years, so we're happy about that. We have also revised our water and soil resources major, always an important major in the school, but never a big one, but it had been failing to graduate 10 graduates a year, which is the minimum for a major, according to the Board of Regents. So we have renamed that Natural Resource Management and Sustainability, a purposely broad name, so that we can have different options under that. One of those options is water and soil resources. So we still offer that, but as an option under a broader major. We've also added a geospatial information science, or GIS, option there as well. That's something employers had asked us for, and we're considering a couple of other options as well that we might put there. We're very purposeful to put sustainability in one of our major names. That's a big deal on campus nowadays, and we feel like the school that's always done that needs to have that in one of its majors. And our natural resource, recreation, and tourism major, we've seen enrollment in that decline over the last few years. That faculty is reassessing it this summer, and will bring us some recommendations this fall to tweak that and hopefully get that enrollment picking back up. Main takeaway message I want this audience to take away about our revision of majors is that we have no plans to make any changes to our very successful forestry and fish and wildlife majors, so rest at ease on that. Career placement is very good in the forestry major again, so we thank all of y'all that have hired permanent positions and interns from us. Love to see you again this fall, and as always, if you come early, you get the most to pick from. Our graduate enrollment looks like it's going to be up about 4% this fall to 194. Our extramural research funding moved from 8.2 to 11.4 million last year, which we're delighted about. We also had a strong private giving year, 3.7 million in pledges and gifts. That includes renaming of our Dean's Conference Room to the Cadle Lumber Conference Room. I also want to thank Stuckey Timberlands and Robert Pollard for helping us get the Stuckey Professorship in Forest Econ and Taxation on course to be fully funded in the next couple of years. That continues to be a big topic area. It's current one now, that, as we heard from Buddy Carter, our congressman from the 1st District at the board meeting. And we've also added 5 graduate fellowships thanks to gifts in the past of land from the Cooper and Rhodes families, and that helps us target some blue chip grad students, as I like to call them, into our program. 2 dates I just make you aware of. One is September 15th. We're having the Center for Forest Business Golf Tournament with Weyerhaeuser again as the lead sponsor, and we're looking for some others. So Bob Isler may be talking to some of y'all about that. We appreciate all the support that many here have given that fundraiser in the past. And homecoming is October 14th with the Missouri game. So hope to see some of y'all there as well. And finally, kind of as I segue over to Buford with the commission report, our alum, Bob Ferris. Bob, if you'd stand up, please. Bob retired as GFC director at the end of May. I think it'd be good for us to thank Bob for all he did as GFC director. I bring that up because we're not only proud of all Bob did as GFC director, we've always been proud to call him an alum, but Wesley Langdale and the GFC board asked me to chair a search to make recommendations to them, and we had 11 applicants for that position. We selected 4 that we plan to interview, and there will be public announcements of those people early next week. We met this morning, and I'm making phone calls to those folks this weekend. So The interview dates in Macon will be August 8th and 9th and 14th and 15th. And our plan is to have our work done shortly after that, recommendations to the board, and have someone in place in September as the agency gets ready for the next budget cycle. So Buford will have more on that while he's here. But I just want to thank all of y'all for all you do to support the school, and I'll be here for the whole meeting. Look forward to catching up with all of y'all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dale. You do a great job up there leading Warnell School. Buford Sanders is going to come up and give us the Forestry Commission report, since Robert won't jump up.
That's all right. I'll be Dale for a minute. No problem. Well, good afternoon, everyone. Buford Sanders, Forestry Commission. Interesting situation I'm in is our director, or post director here, knows more than I do about what I'm trying to talk about. So, Robert, maybe just a thumbs up if it's something a little bit questionable. Just keep your hands down. It's been quite a year for the Forestry Commission. It's been quite a year for landowners across Georgia and forestry community. Our last report out to the board was 4 months ago prior to today, and at that time, Robert then was already in the throes, the entire agency was, with a tremendous amount of fire activity, really heard of and unprecedented fire activity in North Georgia. How many people remember some of the footage that was circulating through media of just intense wildfire activity in the extreme North Georgia mountains? Just incredible. The state was also taxed with a number of tornado events across the state. We'd already experienced some in the early spring. We continued to experience those through the first half of this year. And on top of that, many of you know that we've had just a tremendous Ips beetle outbreak across the central part of the state. Just a tremendous amount of activity. The Forestry Commission has been out there on the forefront on all of those instances. There have been chainsaw strike teams that have responded when there's been a disaster, a tornado. We have the Sustainable Community Forestry Program that has responded, coming into those communities, trying to help build back, recover, and do damage assessments. And so it's been a very active time for us. Our fiscal year ends on June the 30th of the year, and so each year we can look back. We had over 6,127 reported wildfires this past year. Over 72,000 acres was on private lands. On April the 6th, a lightning strike in the Okefenokee National Wildlife Refuge started a fire that we would later name the West Mims Island Fire. And many of you know what a taxing event that has been on the Forestry Commission, as well as landowners. Over 32,000 acres of private lands were also negatively impacted, and an estimate of almost $38 million was impacted under that event. Again, Ips beetle, in my career of 24 years, never seen the amount of activity that we have seen this year. Certainly it was due to the drought being a factor there, but we had over 5,000 spots that we identified through aerial surveys of less than 5 acres. We had over 300 spots that were greater than 5 acres. Some of those spots were as much as 120 acres in size, which is just really unheard of for Ips beetle. Maybe on a lighter note, for some appropriations, we were very fortunate to receive an amended budget that allowed us to acquire some new equipment, much needed fire tractor acquisitions. We got 45 new crawler tractors, 3 new transport trucks, and a new truck tractor transport. We were also able to update all of the two-way radio capabilities on that equipment, so those are now Fireline ready. Beginning now in a new fiscal year, our budget is solid, it's sound, mostly unchanged from last year, except for one very important enhancement. We did receive a 2% personal services increase, and that means for the majority of our employees, they saw for the first time in 9 years something of a cost of living increase. So it's certainly very much appreciated by the agency. Very much thank the governor's office. We thank the legislators who supported that. We certainly thank the membership of GFA for the support in that effort as well. The Forestry Commission was very fortunate as well to receive a One Georgia grant of $3 million. We were able to put our heads together and decide to buy some seats with that. No, I said seats, but seats are single-engine air tankers. The way that it's described to me is this is a crop duster that doesn't use the booms or the sprays. In fact, it has a dump tray that holds up to 600 pounds of fire retardant or water. So I'm told our pilots will be able to learn and be trained to fly these planes with minimal training. I can only imagine how exciting it's going to be taking that first approach with one of those crop dusters and planes. The advantage to our agency, though, is that we can have maybe an earlier initial response. We can also have a little bit lower carrying cost. So we're excited about that. We expect those to be in this fall and fire line ready by the spring of 18. It is seedling sales time again for the agency. If you have anyone that needs tree seedlings, and please consider the Forestry Commission. You can certainly reach us through any local county office, or you can reach us online at gatrees.org. You may have seen recently an announcement that SFI Inc. has accepted a parenting role there for PLT, Project Learning Tree. We think that's a great fit nationally. We also, here in Georgia, are excited to continue our support for PLT. In fact, with the association, we'll be having an event here, I think tomorrow night, for the children's event. So encourage you to get involved with that. I want to just close and say thank you again. Thank you to Dale. Thank you to all the members of the search committee for the support. And again, Chairman Wesley Langdale, they insisted on a very open process, a very inclusive process. Wesley wrote a letter to every employee in the state encouraging us to be involved. It's something really that's not that common in corporate America, in nonprofits, in state government. And Wesley, I've had a number of the employees express genuine appreciation for such an inclusive process. That is extended to all of you. As this goes forward and the announcements come out, I'd encourage you all to help this agency be the best state forestry agency in the country. Ask the questions that's on your mind. Help us. We encourage you. We seek that input. And with that, I'll turn it over. Thank you very much.